Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Anti-Japanese War. The Sun.In. Law of the Grand Marshal's mansion. The beginning is reversed by Xiao Liu Traveling through 1925. He became the Sun.In. Law of the Fengtian Army in the 4 eastern provinces and achieved the development of a strong country system. His wife was slapped by the arrogant Miss Zhang of the Zhang family, and his homeland was trampled upon. In a fit of anger, Lin Changmin rebelled against the Grand Marshal and Zhang Xiaoliu. The exploitation of Daqing Oilfield results in an endless supply of oil. Produce Tiger and Leopard tanks to hang and attack Polar Bear Country. 88mm anti-aircraft guns and Katyusha rocket launchers are roaring. The formation of the Aihua battleships and Essex-class aircraft carriers flew across the sea, and the Little Devil's combined fleet trembled. Mushroom clouds and cloud explosions baptized the land of cherry blossoms in full bloom. The former great powers trembled in front of the Sun.In. Law of the Grand Marshal's mansion. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Slapping My Wife and Turning Around. You are listening at novelfull.audio. October 1925. For Eastern Provinces and Crescent Island. Drinking. Lin Changmin greeted his old friend Guo Songling. As one of the 5 Tiger generals of the Grand Marshal's mansion, Guo Songling looked up at his old friend. He let out a sigh. Changmin. Do you really want to keep being so cowardly? Guo Songling looked at Lin Changmin unwillingly, but he couldn't help but ask. The reason why Guo Songling asked this question is that he is too clear about what amazing talent Lin Changmin has. Not to mention that Lin Changmin, who studied in Europe and America at a young age, already had a considerable reputation in Western powers. Just his talent in weapon manufacturing. Just his inexperienced command of the Second War against the heavens. This is enough to make Guo Songling understand that the person in front of him is definitely a hidden dragon in the abyss. In fact, the power is definitely unfathomable. In front of him, the Marshal of the Fengjun is definitely not worthy of lifting shoes. However, since ancient times, there has been a saying called, "Great achievements shake the master." For the handsome father and son, this sentence also applies. In order to stay and win over Lin Changmin, Dashuai married Zhang Zihan, the youngest daughter of his concubine, to Lin Changmin a long time ago. And Lin Changmin also became the doorstep Sun.In. Law of the Grand Marshal's mansion. However, there is also fear when it comes to containment. After all, even discerning people can tell that Lin Changmin has extremely strong abilities. Xiao Liu is not even a match for Lin Changmin, so he is a powerful figure like Dashuai. He is of course, Zhong Wuyan if there is something, welcome spring if there is nothing. Lin Changmin will not be transferred to the battlefield unless absolutely necessary. Snatched the spotlight from Xiao Liu. After all, Xiao Liu is the biological son of Dashuai, and he is destined to be the leader of the 4 eastern provinces, in the future. Dashuai is extremely skilled in his calculations. However, in order for Lin Changmin to work hard for the Zhang family and also to stabilize Lin Changmin's heart, Zhang Dashuai entrusted Lin Changmin with the management of the Crescent Island, which borders the Polar Bear Country. It can also be considered his balance technique. Of course, for the handsome father and son. Their biggest bargaining chip in their hands is not anything else, but Zhang Zihan, the wife of Lin Changmin and the youngest sister of Zhang Xiaoliu. A daughter born to an unpopular concubine and a chess piece that can be discarded at will. This deal is perfect for tying down a character like Lin Changmin and sacrificing his life for them. Are you cowardly? That's great. Lin Changmin said indifferently, looking at Guo Songling with a smile. At least I'm also the owner of Crescent Island, the local emperor. You. Guo Songling pointed at Lin Changmin, unsure of how to evaluate the young guy in front of him. Crescent Island. How many people can there be on this? It's just a means to kill beggars. And the handsome father and son also tied Lin Changmin up with a woman, asking him to act as a cow and horse for their Zhang family. Can he tolerate this? Guo Songling's chest was filled with a surge of anger that was about to erupt. Humph. I've taken my eye off it. Guo Songling glared angrily at Lin Changmin. Lin Changmin, who is talented and has a well-versed stomach, has become a coward. Even if you raise the issue together, it will be of no benefit. Lin Changmin, you're just a shrunken turtle. Guo Songling was completely defeated by Lin Changmin. He really can't figure out why. Why is Lin Changmin willing to become the son.In.Law of the handsome father and son? My military achievements were taken away by Xiao Liu, and my military power was also relinquished by the Grand Marshal. What kind of gift is sending him to this place where birds don't poop and trap him on an island? This is clearly exile. But this kid was so sweet that Guo Songling couldn't figure it out. Why is Lin Changmin so tolerant? The more she thought, the more angry Guo Songling became. In the end, she just threw her sleeve and left. It's better to take matters on your own than to work alone with an ambitious son.In.Law. If I could unite with Feng Yuxiang and stabilize the people of the Japanese slave country. Why worry about big things being uncertain? As he watched Guo Songling leave, Lin Changmin's eyes narrowed slightly. Lin Changmin, who has traveled from the 21st century, how could he really behave like what he just showed? Is he a cowardly son.In.Law? However, plan before action is Lin Changmin's style. Otherwise, even Guo Songling, one of the 5 tiger generals of the Fengtian Army, what would happen? Has he lost to the cunning Grand Marshal? Lin Changmin knows that he will face more than just a handsome person in the future. Northern polar bears. The island country in the east, the Japanese slave country. There are also Western powers and domestic warlords of all sizes. Can't hold it steady. What if there is systematic support without seeking development? After all, the system I own is not the sky-shattering system that directly explodes weapons and weapons. Of course, Lin Changmin is not a cowardly and useless son.In.Law who can only swallow his pride. Although the area of Crescent Island is not large, it has been accumulated by Lin Changmin in secret during this period. In just 4 years, Lin Changmin secretly built 14 military factories on Crescent Island. These 14 arms factories include 5 firearms factories, and the main production of firearms is of course imitation SKS semi-automatic rifles. However, Lin Changmin named this semi-automatic rifle the Xiaoliu semi-automatic rifle. In addition to 5 firearms factories, Lin Changmin also secretly established 3 tank factories. The tank factory produces the M4 Sherman neutral tank, which Lin Changmin named Dashuai medium tank. 4 artillery factories produce various calibers of cannons, howitzers, and agricultural howitzers. As for the aircraft factory, there are fewer, only 2 in number, and its main production is the P-38 Lightning fighter jet. It was named Defender of Summer 24 Fighter by Lin Changmin. At present, many armies have been secretly trained on Crescent Island alone. Tank regiment, artillery regiment, air force, infantry regiment, everything is ready. It can be said that Lin Changmin has been bullied to such an extent by the Zhang family father and son who kicked his nose and face, yet he still refuses to fight back. That's impossible. Lin Changmin's journey through this time was certainly not in vain. Dashuai is a good hero, but how much better can he be from a horse bandit background? Not to mention his son who gave up the entire 4 provinces without firing a single shot. So whether Lin Changmin is showing weakness or lack of ambition, it's just accumulating strength. Strike down the aggressors and defend the great Xia kingdom. This is Lin Changmin's unwavering pursuit until death. And the reason why he did not directly agree to Guo Songling's request at the moment is also related to his judgment of the situation. After all, enter now. This is not the best time. Guo Songling's foundation is unstable, and joining him rashly will only lead to his downfall. The Feng Dashuai with 2 sides and 3 knives, the polar bear with fierce eyes, and the ambitious little devil with wolf-like ambitions. There are too many things to consider in all aspects. Of course Lin Changmin will enter. But it's not now, it's the time to conquer the world in one fell swoop. He who does not plan for eternity is not enough to plan for a moment. Those who do not plan for the overall situation are not enough to plan for a specific area. This is Lin Changmin's creed. After seeing off Guo Songling, Lin Changmin began his disguise again. Today is the day when Zhang Zihan, his wife and the youngest daughter of the handsome, returns. During this period, Zhang Zihan went to Fengtian City to celebrate the birthday of his 6th son. It's almost time to come back now. Having prepared a table of dishes early, Lin Changmin quietly waited for his wife Zhang Zihan to come back. Brother Changmin. A pleasant voice came from outside the door, and Lin Changmin smiled at the words. My wife has returned. Squeak. Lin Changmin personally opened the door, just as he welcomed his wife with great joy. The next second, Lin Changmin felt something was wrong. Despite Zhang Zihan's efforts to conceal it, there were 5 bright red fingerprints on her face. Still shocking. At this moment, the temperature around Lin Changmin suddenly dropped. In that moment, Lin Changmin tore off all the disguise. Han air. Tell me, who did it? Lin Changmin's questioning tone was extremely cold, with a murderous aura. Chapter 2. Waste sun.in.law. No, the Night King. You are listening at novel full.audio. Marshal, from a bandit background. There are 6 wives alone, and there are even more concubines who have never been through. But Zhang Dashuai felt extremely guilty towards his many wives and children, except for his own daughter and 2 sons who had married him. After all, the mother of the 6th son ended up feeling depressed amidst the neglect of the great handsome. In this situation, the Grand Marshal is actually not very concerned about his other daughters and sons. As for Zhang Zihan, let alone the daughter born to an unmarried concubine. Its status is equivalent to the daughters born to ancient emperors who favored palace maids. If Zhang Zihan's mother gave birth to a son, there is still a possibility of turning over. Unfortunately, Zhang Zihan's mother gave birth to a daughter, which did not greatly elevate the status of Zhang Zihan and her mother. In the Zhang family, Zhang Zihan and her mother still hold a very low status. If this identity and status were born in ancient times, that is what emperors used to make peace and win over their subordinates. Zhang Zihan is no exception. After Zhang Zihan's mother died of depression, Zhang Dashuai tried to win over Lin Changmin. He treated his daughter, who was not valued, as an abandoned son and married Lin Changmin. Speaking of which, Zhang Zihan's fate is also good. Although she was born extremely beautiful, she may be the most beautiful and kind girl in the Zhang family. But in the Zhang family, they also suffered a lot of injustice. After Lin Changmin entered the Zhang family and married Zhang Zihan. Surprisingly, there is a feeling of marriage before love. Although on the Zhang family's side, Zhang Zihan still suffered a lot of disappointment. But by Lin Changmin's side, Zhang Zihan received unprecedented favor. At this moment, Zhang Zihan clearly felt Lin Changmin's anger. Her beautiful eyes looked a bit flustered, and this girl was indeed too kind. Of course, she was also afraid of causing trouble for Lin Changmin because of her own affairs. After all, Lin Changmin's position in the Zhang family is a bit too awkward. Yes. It's me. I fell. It doesn't matter. It'll be fine in a while. Zhang Zihan stuttered. If you fall, can you leave 5 fingerprints on your fingers? Zihan, I said it. I can do whatever others say about me, but they can't touch my woman. Lin Changmin's anger couldn't be suppressed. I deliberately hide my sharpness, hibernate and wait for the opportunity. This really makes some dogs kick their noses and face. Does a tiger really consider itself a sick cat if it doesn't show its strength? Lin Changmin is not a sentimental guy either. But if we can't even protect our own women, how can we protect the people of Dashuai Kingdom? How can we achieve our ultimate goal? Brother Changmin. Zhang Zihan tugged at her husband's hem. The petite woman at the moment was not foolish, she knew her husband was not an ordinary person. But she also understands that she must not involve her husband in this matter just because she has suffered injustice. I'm fine. After speaking, Zhang Zihan was still jumping and spinning around beside Lin Changmin. Look, isn't this okay with me? It's lively and lively. Brother Changmin, have you made something delicious? I can smell the fragrance. It smells so good, I'm hungry. Let's go eat, okay? After speaking, Zhang Zihan blinked his eyes. That look is like piercing every man's heart. Lin Changmin temporarily suppressed his fluctuating emotions and understood why Zhang Zihan was unwilling to speak up about the matter. Don't look at the little girl with a gentle expression, as long as it's a decision made. It's the kind where even 8 cows can't be pulled back. Just like back then, even Zhang Shoufang, the sister of Zhang Xiaoliu, advised Zhang Zihan not to follow Lin Changmin to this bird doesn't poop Xiaoliu.The island. But in the end, Zhang Zihan, who has always been gentle like water, spoke harshly towards the only sister in the Zhang family who is good to her. Even if it's death. She also wants to die in the same place as her husband. The ends of the earth. She will also venture with her husband. This kind of temper really caught Lin Changmin's heart. However, it was precisely because he knew the little girl's temper that Lin Changmin had no intention of breaking the sand pot and asking the whole truth at this time. After all, if he wants to know, it doesn't necessarily have to be learned from Zhang Zihan's mouth. For so many years, Lin Changmin has not really been a useless son.In.Law. He has been laying out the world for a long time. The Domestic Spy Network Organization. The Black Clothes Society. The Foreign Spy Network Organization. The Shadow Society. Enough for Lin Changmin to extend his tentacles towards the corners of the Great Xia Kingdom. Not to mention the Great Xia Kingdom, even Lin Changmin can get information on what color of pants the Emperor of the Little Devil is wearing today. Oh. Little devils don't seem to have the habit of wearing pants. Accompanying his wife Zhang Zihan, he had a beautiful meal and comforted the wronged Zhang Zihan to sleep. Lin Changmin came to his study. I casually picked up a book called The Wealth of Nations, and opened it for a few pages. The door to my study was opened. A figure appeared not far from Lin Changmin. This person's name is Dai Li, codenamed Shadow. President of the Black Clothes Society. He is the right-hand man of Lin Changmin, along with Li Zetian, the president of the Shadow Society codenamed Kite. A person responsible for domestic intelligence collection. A person responsible for foreign intelligence acquisition. Madam is at the Zhang family. What exactly happened? Lin Changmin's tone was very cold, and he could only hear the book, The Wealth of Nations, snap together. He leaned back on the chair, waiting for Dai Li's next message. With just such a simple question, Dai Li felt an unprecedented sense of oppression. Who? Dai Li spat out a deep breath and said, Madam, someone hit me. Sure enough. Lin Changmin's eyes suddenly opened and he sternly asked, Who? Zhang Xiaoying. The Zhang Xiaoying mentioned by Dai Li is the 7th daughter of Zhang Dashuai and the wife of the youngest son of Xiaoliu.The, a veteran of the Fengtian Army. Zhang Xiaoying, also the illegitimate daughter of a concubine, has an older brother above her. Her brother Zhang Muying and Zhang Xiaoliu have a very good relationship, and she was also married by Zhang Dashuai to the son of the powerful Xiaoliu.The. From then on, this woman became extremely arrogant and domineering. Zhang Zihan, who is also the daughter of a concubine, is particularly disdainful. De Xiao. At that time, Zhang Xiaoying made a sarcastic remark about the cheap gift you gave, saying that you were an ignorant country bumpkin and a mud-legged person. He is the useless son.In.law of the Zhang family. That's why Madame couldn't bear it and finally cursed Yang Ziyuan for sleeping with a woman in the brothel, unwilling to touch Zhang Xiaoying's body. Zhang Xiaoying, with her sharp teeth and sharp mouth, couldn't bear this sarcasm anymore. She slapped his wife on the spot. The entire Zhang family, except for Miss Zhang, the second and fourth young masters of the Zhang family, all watched coldly. Madame was already wronged, and Zhang Xiaoliu even helped the two siblings Zhang Muying and Zhang Xiaoying, asking Madame to get out. So, before Dai Li could finish speaking, he heard a cracking sound. Lin Changmin's right hand pounded fiercely on the table, and there seemed to be blood seeping out of his eyes. Zhang Xiaoliu, Zhang Muying, Zhang Xiaoying. They're looking for death. If the tigers don't show their strength, they really treat me as a sick cat, Lin Changmin. Curse me for being a useless son.In.law, and I'll just endure it. Beat my wife. They're afraid they'll have a chance to fight, but if they don't, they'll pay back. Dai Li had never seen Lin Changmin get so angry before, but when he saw Lin Changmin's angry lion-like expression, he couldn't help but tremble. You go down. Focus on monitoring the 4 eastern provinces for me. A good day for the Zhang family father and son. It's over. He Zhang Dashuai doesn't know how to teach his son or daughter, so let me, as a son.In.law, teach him well and teach his daughter. The second and fourth young masters are like dragons and phoenixes among people, but Zhang Dashuai chose a soft-footed shrimp who only knows how to smoke and sleep, and runs away without firing a shot when he sees the enemy. It seems that this Zhang Xiaoshui only knows how to bully and bully women. Lin Changmin seemed to be talking to Dai Li, as if he was talking to himself. At present, Lin Changmin's layout has almost been completed for the most part. It is not difficult to rely solely on the military strength of that division to launch attacks on most of the Fengtian Army. Now someone is bullying his wife Lin Changmin. How could Lin Changmin continue to hibernate and become a shrunken turtle? After Dai Li retreated, Lin Changmin shouted loudly, "Guard, guard! Arrive! Go get me Li Zhaolin, the commander of the 1st Division, Du Lumin, the commander of the 1st Regiment, Song Shilian, the commander of the 2nd Regiment, Huang Baitao, the commander of the 3rd Regiment, and the commander of the 4th Regiment. Call everyone over." Yes. After receiving orders from Lin Changmin, the guards dared not delay at all. He immediately turned around and ran out towards the outside. Soon, the generals of the 1st Model Division of Dashuai stood in front of Lin Changmin. Looking at Li Zhaolin, Du Lumin, Song Shilian, Huang Baitao and others, Lin Changmin did not beat around the bush. He looked into the eyes of these guys and said directly, "I won't talk too much nonsense to you. The father and son of the Zhang family, as well as the whole family, treat me like a useless son.In.law, and when they use it, they remember me. When not in use, throw me away like garbage. For the sake of a big plan, I have to endure it. But just today, my wife, the wife of your commander.In.chief, was slapped by a crazy woman from the Zhang family. A man can't even protect his own woman. Damn it, can you still call him a man?" After speaking, Lin Changmin slammed his hand hard onto the table. Pop! This heavy blow made several people straighten their bodies. Today, I clearly said it. For the sake of his wife not being humiliated, and for the sake of not easily falling into the hands of the little devils and the Polar Bear Country in the 4 eastern provinces of Dashuai. For the sake of the people of Dashuai not being slaves to the fallen country. Against his mother Marshal. Drive Xiao Liu out of the 4 eastern provinces for me. Do you dare to rebel with me? Lin Changmin's tiger eyes looked at the faces of Li Zhaolin, Du Lumin, Song Shilian, Huang Baitao, and others. Young master, it's the opposite of him. It's reversed. It's the opposite. Li Zhaolin, Du Lumin, Song Shilian, Huang Baitao and others couldn't bear it anymore. Now they hear Lin Changmin say so. They immediately became restless. Great Marshal, that's all. Xiao Liu. I don't even have the qualifications to bring shoes to my family, and I still want to take over as the commander.in.chief in the 4 provinces of East China. Do you want to fart? At this moment, when will it be even longer? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Me, my son.in.law Lin Changmin, reversed. You are listening at novel full.audio. Anger at the crown turns into beauty. Lin Changmin's anger does not mean that he has lost his rationality as a result. Lin Changmin, who was accustomed to planning before taking action, intensified his training for the army. At the same time, in November 1925, Guo Songling rebelled and issued an anti-Fengtian declaration. Quickly, Guo Songling led a 70,000-strong army to capture Haishan, capture Suizhong and Xincheng, break through the Lianshan defense line, and occupy Jingzhou. Faced with the fierce attack of Guo Songling, the Fengtian army could only retreat to the east bank of the Li River to defend themselves. At this critical moment, the time for Lin Changmin to wait finally arrived. If Lin Changmin does not take action at this time, the Guo army will be attacked by the troops dispatched by the eastern 5 provinces of the Little Devils while attacking Liuzi in Xingmin County. The rear will be cut off by reinforcements from the Black Province, and the ammunition depot of Baikibo will also be burned down. Little Japanese planes will bomb the positions of the Guo army. Later, Guo Songling will be defeated like a mountain. As for the handsome father and son who collude with the Little Devils, they will regain the initiative. Thinking of this, Lin Changmin couldn't help but sneer. The Grand Marshal is a true hero, and he was indeed killed by the Little Devils in Huanggatun later on. But his collusion with the Little Devils is also a fact. Of course, there is naturally a component of Sui Wei snake in it. But the Little Devils are not Santa Claus, and sending troops to deal with Guo Songling this time is not a free gift for the marshal. Every aid given must be repaid at 10 times the price by the general or the people of the 4 eastern provinces. The mining rights and coal mining rights of Anshan iron mine. The investment in the joint venture between Japan and Japan increased from 28 million yen to 400 million yen. The Little Devils can take this opportunity to plunder the resources of the 4 eastern provinces. Even later, Mr. Li died tragically in the hands of the Grand Marshal. And this is also the most intolerable thing for Lin Changmin. Zhang Dashuai, who has mixed reviews, is definitely a hero. But he is not the wise master in Lin Changmin's mind. Now he is colluding with the Little Devils to deal with Guo Songling. Why does Lin Changmin, who has a grudge against the Little Devils, sit idly by? Crescent Island. Although this place appears to be small in size and lacking in resources. But with the help of the system, Lin Changmin still developed this area to the extreme. In fact, Lin Changmin's influence has infiltrated the Far East and the 4 eastern provinces occupied by the Polar Bear Kingdom. At present, although Xiangxiazi appears to have only 1 town of residence, with the development of Lin Changmin, the population has already reached nearly 100,000. In addition, the people here are doing trade transfer work. It can be said that every household is striving for a moderately prosperous society. 3 meals a day, don't worry about food or clothing. Not only that, every household is even connected to electricity. If it were not for this, Lin Changmin would not have easily provided for the military strength of a division. Of course, it is possible to hide a considerable number of troops on Crescent Island. Its main reliance is still on the system. Talents, some resources, and technology still need to be provided by the system. After all, break away from some things that are not present in this era and make advanced weapons and equipment. That belongs to pure nonsense. Even with design drawings and talent, it's pure nonsense. Some necessary things can only be provided by the system. De Xiao. As you expected, the little devil's troops from the east 4 provinces have been dispatched. Li Xiaolin pointed to a location on the map and said to Lin Changmin. Xingmin County, Liuhe. On its left is Fengtian County. Liuzi said he didn't want to meet his old subordinate Guo Songling in battle. Who knew that this kid, along with Yang Ziyuan, was actually colluding with the little devils? Get ready to take action against Guo Songling's logistics team. If Liuzi and Xiaoliu.The really succeed. If we defeat Guo Songling's logistics and destroy their ammunition depot, Guo Songling will undoubtedly lose, Li Xiaolin analyzed excitedly. 6 sons. Yang Ziyuan. Little devil. Lin Changmin suddenly smiled, his laughter filled with coldness. Unexpectedly, the person who bullied my daughter.In.law Lin Changmin is the little devil that makes me sick the most. We managed to get together. You really came early, why not come coincidentally? Since they are all cooperating like this, then I won't hesitate. I think Guo Songling's life is not easy now. Since he gave me face and didn't kill Jiang Dengxian. Then I'll give him a hand. Of course, the primary and secondary scores are clear. Lin Changmin's voice became cold as he spoke. Tell him, I don't like guys who are too ambitious. Yes. Li Xiaolin straightened his body and responded loudly. Send me orders to have the 1st Division launch an attack. Target, Fengtian County. Capture Liuzi and Yang Ziyuan alive. After speaking, Lin Changmin lifted his wrist and glanced at his watch. He continued, it's now 10 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock in the evening. I want to see Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan in Fengtian County. My daughter.In.law Lin Changmin, we can't let these turtle grandsons bully us for nothing. Remember, this is the strategic goal of the 1st stage. Arrive in Fengtian County and capture Liuzi and Yang Ziyuan alive. This is just our appetizer, the little devil's dispatch of troops from the 5 eastern provinces is our feast. Do you understand? Lin Changmin's tiger eyes swept over the faces of Li Xiaolin, Du Lumin, Song Shilian, Huang Baitao, and others. Yes, everyone shouted in unison. Let's go. Let the Zhang family father and son, and those who think that Lin Changmin is just a useless son.In.law. Open your dog's eyes and take a look. Me. Lin Changmin. The useless son.In.law in their eyes. Today, it's the opposite. Lin Changmin slammed his hand fiercely onto the table, exuding an extremely imposing aura. 1st Division. Ensure completion of the task. These brave and skilled generals responded in unison. Chapter 4. Xiao Liu was stunned and his son.In.law rebelled. You are listening at novel full.audio. Crescent Island. Dashuai Guanyu Army Model 1st Division. Although there is only 1 division, there is only a force of over 10,000 people. But the weapons, equipment, and combat deployment are extremely complete. Tank regiment, artillery regiment, air force, and infantry regiment are all available. Among them, the tank regiment has 98 Daqing 23 medium tanks. The Air Force has 3 squadrons and 72 aerial units of the Defender of the Summer 24 fighter jets. As for the artillery regiment under the division, it is equipped with 30.6 120mm howitzers and 12 152mm howitzers. The anti-aircraft camp is equipped with 6 88mm anti-aircraft guns, 12 40mm dual anti-aircraft guns, and 12.7mm anti-aircraft machine guns. These are weapons and equipment manufactured by Lin Changmin's arsenal. As for the Dashuai 20 semi-automatic rifle, it was even more equipped with the entire division. Only the firepower of this one division. Capable of attacking any hostile force that dares to enter the territory of the Great Xia Kingdom. And this is also where Lin Changmin's confidence lies. Otherwise, his attempt to capture Xiaoliu.The and Yang Ziyuan alive, and ultimately defeat the eastern four provinces dispatched by the Japanese slave country, is simply a pipe dream. Secretly transport the Model 1st Division out of Crescent Island, passing through the front lines of Linpu, Guangcheng, and Jingzhou, and quickly reach Fengtian County. Don't linger, speed is everything. Let the reserve team do a good job in logistics support. We must ensure the logistics of the Model 1st Division. War. We must never cut off the logistics, and we cannot be taken aback like Guo Songling. The 3 squadrons of the Air Force are ready for battle, ready to fight with the Air Force dispatched by the eastern 4 provinces of the Little Devil at any time. In this battle, only victory is allowed, not defeat. Lin Changmin shouted loudly. Yes, young and old. After receiving the order, the Model 1st Division and the Reserve Logistics Force immediately launched. This time, Lin Changmin, who has always planned before taking action, is almost desperate. Success stirs up the tide of the times. Defeat leads to death without a burial place. After making the decision to send troops, Lin Changmin asked his wife Zhang Zihan. The woman who looked gentle and watery gave an extremely firm answer. Even if I die, I will die with you. Zhang Zihan and Lin Changmin have long been one. In contrast, the Zhang family, which had little warmth to say and left their mother feeling depressed and dying. Zhang Zihan really won't have any more attachment. Fengtian County. The sound of gunfire roared. General Xiaoliu.The, dressed in military uniform, stood quietly in front of a huge map with a sense of guidance. At this time, he can be described as spring breeze triumphant horseshoe disease, and having just celebrated his birthday, he is highly likely to become the second generation of the most powerful warlord in the Great Xia Kingdom. At present, Zhang Xiaoliu has put himself in a good position. Waiting for reporters from the White-Headed Eagle Kingdom, the Japanese Slave Kingdom, the Sunset Empire, and the Gaul Kingdom to shoot. Click, click. Click. General Zhang, look here. White-Headed Eagle's Generation Weekly reporter Smith held a camera and took a photo in the direction of Zhang Xiaoliu. This photo will appear at the headquarters of Generation Weekly as soon as possible. Smith has already thought of its title. Zhang Xiaoliu, the head of the 4 most likely young princes to unify the Xia Kingdom and a talented young commander, in his early years, Yushui Wu Xiuzai had already appeared in the Bai Tuinggua's Generation Weekly. However, after the defeat, Wu Xiuzai was already yesterday's yellow flower. Almost everyone believes that with the strong strength of the Fengtian Army, the entire Xia country can be unified. Although there have been rebellious forces within the Fengtian Army, it seems that this rebellion is about to be quelled. And Zhang Xiaoliu, the commander of the Fengtian Army who shone brightly in the war, will definitely become the ruler of the new era of the Great Xia Kingdom. At least in the eyes of journalists from the White-Headed Eagle country, this is the case. Click, the camera emitted a crisp sound, and at the peak of his life, Zhang Xiaoliu looked satisfied. He already feels invincible in the world right now. However, at this moment, all happiness came to an abrupt end. I saw Yang Ziyuan running towards his direction with a disheveled expression on his face. Seeing Yang Yuding's son's panicked expression, Zhang Xiaoliu's face instantly became extremely ugly. As for journalists from various countries, they are also like sharks who smell the smell of blood. They looked at Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan with great curiosity. Zhang Xiaoliu, who had a displeased expression on his face, asked very displeased, "What's going on?" So embarrassed. Yang Ziyuan, who was still in shock, spoke in great panic and said, "Young Marshal. The enemy is coming in, the enemy is coming in. Tanks, cannons, and airplanes. Has the enemy entered? Tanks, cannons. Do you have a plane? Guo Songling. When did he have tanks and planes? Even Zhang Xiaoliu's father doesn't have many tanks or planes." After hearing this news, Zhang Xiaoliu was completely stunned. As for the others, they were also stunned. Impossible, Guo Songling's logistics were intercepted by us. His arsenal has been bombed by us, so where is there left to launch an attack on us? Zhang Xiaoliu roared at the top of his lungs. Even if Zhuge Wuhou is still alive, the current situation cannot be overturned against the wind. Not to mention Guo Songling. However, facts speak louder than words, accompanied by waves of whistling. A huge howitzer shell hit towards the direction of Fengtian County. Bang! 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 The intense explosion shook people's brains and seeds. Such a violent artillery bombing scale. There is no one in the Fengtian Army at all. Is this really Guo Songling's army? Just now, Zhang Xiaoliu, who was still satisfied with the Fengtian Army, felt his hands and feet cold. Although Zhang Xiaoliu is not much of an embroidered pillow, he still has a long, long way to go before he can control the situation and face off against the world-renowned generals. Can it be the army of the Japanese people, said a staff officer of Zhang Xiaoliu. The people of the Wenu kingdom. The idea of, they want to take this opportunity, came to Zhang Xiaoliu's mind, and he felt his legs weaken. If it were really a little devil who took action. Zhang Xiaoliu will definitely not fire a single shot and withdraw directly from the pass. In Zhang Xiaoliu's opinion, the little devil is really too strong. Kill! Kill! Follow Commander Lin's orders and capture Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan alive. Go ahead. With a roar of tank engines, the Model 1st Division had already entered Fengtian County. After hearing this voice, a Fengtian officer quickly reacted. Marshal. Can it be Lin Changmin? This statement startled everyone. The son.In.Law of the Grand Marshal's mansion, rumored to be a cowardly and homecoming son.In.Law. But there is a different view among the senior officials in the military. Two Jifeng Wars, the first time the Grand Marshal was defeated like a mountain collapsing. Almost to be captured alive by Wu Xiaocai. It was Lin Changmin who turned the tide and blocked Shan Haiguan. However, the credit fell on Zhang Xiaoliu's head. In the Second War, the Fengtian Army persisted in attacking a certain area for a long time. It was Lin Changmin who went out of the mountain again and broke through Wu Xiaocai's defense line, which gave the Fengtian Army a great victory. Thanks, also stolen by Zhang Xiaoliu. Of course, all of this is a rumor. Something that cannot be mentioned. It is undeniable that the Zhang family rarely sees Lin Changmin stealing merit. The main political crescent island, named Reward and actually in exile. Everyone has a sense of belonging in their hearts. It can be said that the person with the most complex emotions towards Lin Changmin. There is nothing better than Zhang Xiaoliu. After all, most of his credit was stolen. However, it seems unlikely that this army belongs to Lin Changmin. After all, Lin Changmin only has one deserted island. How did he manage to produce so many tanks, planes, and cannons? Speak it out, I'm afraid no one will believe it. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Lin Changmin is just a useless son.In.Law. How could he possibly have tanks, planes, and cannons? Absolutely impossible. At this moment, Zhang Xiaoliu, whose face was extremely ugly, roared hysterically. However, at the next moment, an officer ran up to Zhang Xiaoliu. Marshal, the intelligence from Fengtian City. 8 hours ago, it was suspected that a large number of tank units, artillery units, and mechanized infantry units were heading south on Crescent Island. Lin Changmin, who was guarding Crescent Island, electrified the whole country an hour ago. Countless generals, you stole his military achievements and bullied his wife and his wife. You collude with the Grand Marshal with the Japanese pirates and cholera in the 4 eastern provinces of the Great Xia Kingdom. So, it's reversed. He kept talking. The soldier couldn't continue. What else did he say? Zhang Xiaoliu roared. He also said that during this trip to Fengtian County, it is necessary to capture young Marshal Yu and young Ziyuan alive. He said that the Grand Marshal was incompetent in teaching his son, so let him replace the Grand Marshal. Teach you a good lesson. As soon as this statement was made, all the generals of the Fengtian Army. Silence. Chapter 5. Shakes the World, Major Marshal Zhang Xiaoliu was captured alive. You are listening at novel full.audio. After hearing these words, Zhang Xiaoliu's face turned pale with iron. Lin Changmin's words were spoken without hesitation. It was all about exposing Zhang Xiaoliu's face and slapping him hard. Zhang Xiaoliu tightly squeezed his hands, and his teeth were biting with a creaking sound. But the sound of killing and attacking from afar made Zhang Xiaoliu feel an irresistible feeling. Airplane. Cannons and tanks. How did Lin Changmin do it under the watchful eyes of himself and his father? Did you create such an army? He, who was just at the peak of his life, has now fallen into the bottom of his life. Kill. Waves of roaring sound echoed like strong winds and waves. Accompanied by the rapid sound of the charging horn, the soldiers of the Model 1st Division advanced at an extremely fast speed under the cover of the Dashuai medium tank. The soldiers of the Model 1st Division held a Type 20 semi-automatic rifle in their hands. This semi-automatic rifle has a caliber of 7.62 mm, a fixed magazine of 10 rounds, a capacity of 10 rounds, and a maximum range of 1,000 meters. First, it weighs 3.85 kilograms and has a total length of 1,020 millimeters. Faced with the weapons and equipment of this era, as long as automatic rifles are not available, this semi-automatic rifle is undoubtedly the king. Bang bang bang. The Dashuai 20 semi-automatic rifle accurately fired towards the enemy in the distance. Under the cover of the Dashuai 23 medium tank, the Model 1st Division had already advanced into Fengtian County like a firecracker. Although the Model 1st Division is currently unstoppable, the Fengtian Army is not entirely on dry food either. After all, this is the existence of the legitimate lineage in Zhang Xiaoliu's legitimate lineage. After the Model 1st Division entered Fengtian County, roaring Maxim heavy machine guns blocked the path of the Model 1st Division's advance. Dashuai, we are blocked. The Fengtian Army used Maxim heavy machine guns to block our way forward, a grassroots commander said to Lin Changmin. Don't let the soldiers charge upwards with their heads covered, let the tank troops solve the firepower point. Their heavy machine guns cannot deal with our Type 23 medium tank. Lin Changmin frowned tightly upon hearing this. I only heard him shout loudly. Yes, young and old. With the command of Lin Changmin, the Type 23 tank came crashing down with thunderous force. The turret turned and the muzzle fired towards the direction of the Fengtian Maxim heavy machine gun. Bang! With the sound of gunfire, the heavy machine gun positions of the Fengtian Army were instantly fragmented and silent. Just now, the heavy machine gun, which was still arrogantly spitting flames, suddenly stopped its flag and drum. The power of tanks. Scared, the so-called elites of Zhang Xiaoliu were in a state of panic. Monster, monster. Run, run. Their tanks are too strong. In a flurry of voices, Zhang Xiaoliu's legitimate troops began to collapse. At this moment, Lin Changmin let out a roar and said, capture Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan alive, fight and decide quickly. Subsequently, Lin Changmin jumped directly into the cab of a medium-sized tank of the Dashuai 23. Driving the mid-sized tank of the Dashuai 23, amidst a deafening sound. The tank ran fiercely ahead. Capture Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan alive, quick battle and quick decision. The soldiers of the Model 1st Division roared loudly. After the heavy firepower point was directly bombarded by the tank, the morale of the Model 1st was greatly boosted. They were like young tigers descending the mountain, crushing the Fengtian Army. The Fengtian Army, which was already shocked by Yan Ziming's performance like a heavenly deity descending to earth, had no intention of fighting. The Fengtian Army in the urban area of Fengtian County collapsed like an avalanche. At this moment, as the head of the four major princes of the Great Xia Kingdom and the famous Marshal Zhang Xiaoliu, his face turned extremely pale. Xiao Shui, run quickly. We can't stop it. Zhang Xiaoliu's deputy quickly said. I saw Zhang Xiaoliu swallow a mouthful of saliva fiercely, his whole body trembling wildly. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Zhang Xiaoliu nodded busily. Just for now. Can Zhang Xiaoliu really leave? Several mid-sized tanks of the Dashuai 23 type rushed towards Zhang Xiaoliu with thunderous force. The dark muzzle is terrifying. Zhang Xiaoliu, surrender and surrender, I won't kill you. Lin Changmin's voice came. The massive steel body and black muzzle of the Type 23 medium-sized tank in front of us. In addition, with Lin Changmin's words, Zhang Xiaoliu was already frightened enough. With a pale face, he let out a thud and collapsed to the ground. Chapter 6. Zhang Dashuai's fury and angry strike at the stupid daughter. You are listening at novel full.audio. Fengtian City. Sister, do you think this jewelry looks good? It's pure gold, and Ziyuan said he wanted to give it to you a long time ago. Elder sister, this perfume is produced in the empire of never-setting sun. It is said that it is also very popular in the country of bald eagle. Sister, you look so beautiful in your qipao, it's so beautiful. Zhang Xiaoying flattered Zhang Shoufang, the elder sister of Zhang Xiaoliu, with an extremely flattering tone. That look is no different from a dog. Although between Zhang Xiaoying and Zhang Zihan, Zhang Shoufang prefers the gentle and amiable Zhang Zihan. But that's how people are, some deliberately try to please themselves. Still willing to spend money. That defender would naturally not refuse the door. After all, whether it's Zhang Xiaoying or Zhang Zihan, they are all her sister, Zhang Shoufang. Xiao Ying. You and Zihan are my sisters. How can there be an overnight feud between sisters? In the future, we must never have conflicts with Zihan on certain matters. Home and everything prospers. My own family got into a conflict and let outsiders see a joke for no reason. Zihan is a sensible person. As a sister today, I will make peace with you all. Zhang Shoufang looked at Zhang Xiaoying and said. Sister, it's not me who has a small belly and chicken intestines. It's really that Zihan was drugged with hallucinogenic drugs by Lin Changmin, that coward. Zhang Xiaoying certainly wouldn't easily bow her head. How could a woman like her who flatters her superiors and is arrogant towards her subordinates reconcile with Zhang Zihan whom she looks down upon? That useless son.in.law, I think it's a burden on our Zhang family. I'm a woman from every family, I don't understand anything, but I can tell. Little Six brother doesn't like Lin Changmin very much. What Little Six doesn't like is what I, Zhang Xiaoying, don't like. If Zihan could kick away Lin Changmin, this useless son.in.law. Then she and I can be harmonious sisters, but if this little girl is really drugged by Lin. Of course, as an older sister, I can't tolerate her anymore. Zhang Xiaoying and Zhang Muying were able to make a living in the Zhang family as children of their concubine. The most important thing is that they are good at observing words and expressions, and catering to their preferences. Zhang Muying shamelessly licked Zhang Xiaoliu. Zhang Xiaoying shamelessly held the eldest sister of the Zhang family. The two of them are somewhat clever, which Little Six doesn't like. Of course, they want to be dogs. First, help Little Six take a bite of Lin Changmin. Upon hearing this, Zhang Shoufang also furrowed his brow. She let out a deep sigh. Zhang Zihan is gentle on the outside and tough on the inside, and she can't even bring back 8 horses that she has determined. On this point, Zhang Shoufang is also extremely helpless. Looking at her older sister who seemed to have moved her, Zhang Xiaoying became even more enthusiastic. This woman is typical of being clever and skilled in scheming. She didn't know how terrifying Lin Changmin was after his useless son.In.law status. Even Marshal Zhang is extremely wary of Lin Changmin, and as for the reason why Zhang Xiaoliu doesn't like Lin Changmin, that's not that Lin Changmin offended him at all, or rather that Lin Changmin is a useless person who has offended Zhang Xiaoliu. It's really heartache. After all, Lin Changmin's two stunning military achievements were quietly taken away by Zhang Xiaoliu. Just like a person impersonating someone else's qualifications for college, the person he probably least wants to encounter in his life is the one he impersonates. Big sister. Actually, I'm also doing it for Zihan. Anyway, Zihan is ultimately my sister. Our Zhang family's bloodline. How can we follow a useless person's side? That Crescent Island is a deserted island where birds don't poop. Following Lin Changmin, this useless person, is like embarrassing our Zhang family. Last time Liuzi celebrated his birthday, Lin Changmin actually gave away a few books. Isn't this a way to send away beggars? Embroidered pillows that are not familiar with human relationships and worldly wisdom, incompetent, and useless. My husband, Ziyuan, is now the deputy of the police force, and it won't be long before he becomes the official commander. Lin Changmin and my son Yuan are compared, that's heaven and earth. Sister, it's not me who said it. That slap was really for Zihan's good. Just as Zhang Xiaoying was deftly belittling Lin Changmin, suddenly a voice came over. Marshal, have you returned? Dad's back. Zhang Xiaoying's eyes lit up, and she, who was good at drilling, naturally knew that Zhang Dashuai was the person she should please the most. Zhang Xiaoying immediately stood up and followed his elder sister Zhang Shoufang to greet Zhang Dashuai. However, when Zhang Dashuai returned this time, he went straight into Zhang Shoufang's room. He didn't even glance at his eldest daughter and walked straight towards Zhang Xiaoying. Dad! Zhang Xiaoying showed a surprised expression. However, the next second, a slap rushed towards Zhang Xiaoying's face. You idiot! Who gave you the confidence to fight Zihan, and who gave you the confidence to provoke Lin Changmin, this foolish pig? Damn it, I should have slapped you on the wall back then. Angry Zhang Dashuai looked like a wounded lion, roaring loudly. Chapter 7. Replacing Zhang Dashuai and teach Xiaoliu.The a lesson. You are listening at novel full.audio. Looking at Zhang Dashuai, who looked like an angry lion, Zhang Xiaoying was completely bewildered. She never imagined that her handsome father would come up and slap her hard. Just for Zhang Zihan and for Lin Changmin, a useless son.In.law. Zhang Dashuai slapped him hard. With this slap, Zhang Xiaoying's face was swollen. Blood flowed out from Zhang Xiaoying's face and nose. Looking at Zhang Dashuai's expression, it seemed like he wanted to completely tear himself apart. Zhang Xiaoying has an indescribable fear and apprehension. Dad! It's Zihan who disrespects brother 6, and that son.In.law Lin Changmin. On Liuzi's birthday, he gave a few books to congratulate him. I just can't stand them. Like this. Talent. Zhang Xiaoying's mouth was still very hard at this moment. She covered her cheeks and looked at Zhang Dashuai with extreme fear. Afraid that Zhang Dashuai would slap her again, he slapped her in the face. Upon hearing Zhang Xiaoying's sophistry, Zhang Dashuai was even more furious. This slap beat Lin Changmin to the point of rebellion. The great situation that I had worked hard to manage ended up in the hands of my daughter. How could Zhang Dashuai not be angry? How could Zhang Dashuai not be angry? Zhang Dashuai is well aware of Lin Changmin's abilities. My own son may not even be worthy of lifting shoes for Lin Changmin. And his son's 6 sons' act of snatching credit also enabled him to successfully establish a foothold in the Fengtian Army. As long as time passes, Liuzi will definitely become the new commander of the Fengtian Army. However, all of this was ruined by the slap of this foolish daughter. Lin Changmin has turned around. Just because of this slap. tanks, airplanes, cannons all heading towards Fengtian County. When I heard a large number of tanks, planes, and cannons heading towards the location of Liuzi, Zhang Dashuai was completely scared out of his wits. Crescent Island. How did Lin Changmin transform so many armies into such a small island? Not just the military. Aircraft, tanks, cannons. Where do these weapons and equipment come from? Zhang Dashuai even suspected that the person standing behind Lin Changmin was a polar bear. Now Fengtian County has been conquered, and the 6 sons have been captured alive. Guo Songling comes back from the dead. Zhang Dashuai only felt a sense of being cautious and cautious. This is also the reason why Zhang Dashuai is so angry. You shut up. Zhang Dashuai shouted, and his gaze towards Zhang Xiaoying was extremely cold. Although Zhang Xiaoying is his handsome daughter, she is such a foolish and deceitful daughter. Zhang Dashuai really doesn't want to take a second look. Someone. Here. Immediately, several security guards appeared in front of Zhang Dashuai. Tie up Zhang Xiaoying and Zhang Muying for me. Send it to Lin Changmin's place, as long as he is willing to withdraw. Let Liuzi come back safely, it's easy to say anything. Zhang Dashuai said in a muffled voice. Retreat. Zhang Shofang finally realized something was wrong and quickly walked forward. Dad, what's going on? Where did Lin Changmin get his troops? Lin Changmin not only has soldiers, but also airplanes, tanks, and cannons. Even someone who I dare not underestimate, your father, is being bullied by such a fool. Do you think Lin Changmin is really a useless son.In.law? No, it's not. He is a talented genius, and Liuzi is no match for him. He is the most outstanding young man I have ever seen, your father. Liuzi's high reputation in the army now is completely attributed to Lin Changmin's military achievements. However, this inconspicuous fool, she went to beat honor and provoke Lin Changmin. Now, Lin Changmin has rebelled. He entered Fengtian County and captured Liuzi and Yang Ziyuan alive. Damn it, the land that I've taken down will eventually be destroyed by this foolish pig. Now I really wish I could throw this stupid pig into the pigsty. Zhang Dashuai said with a grudge that iron is not steel. Lin Changmin's sudden move really caught Zhang Dashuai off guard. Lin Changmin is not a coward. Is it a dormant warlord with airplanes, tanks, and cannons? After hearing this news, Zhang Xiaoying was stunned. I'm completely dumbfounded. How could this be possible? Lin Changmin is just a useless son.In.law. How could he possibly capture Liuzi and his husband Yang Ziyuan alive? At this moment, Zhang Xiaoying felt a sudden surge of coldness. I really slapped and rebelled against such a demon. Its father, Zhang Dashuai, didn't directly kill her, which is already considered good. Just as Zhang Xiaoying felt the whole world was collapsing. Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan, who were captured alive by Lin Changmin in Fengtian County, suffered even more. After capturing Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan alive, Lin Changmin quickly tied them up. Starting from 9 p.m. in the evening, Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan knelt on the ground for more than 10 hours. As Lin Changmin said, Zhang Dashuai does not educate his son. Then let him, the son.In.law, teach him a lesson. A soft-footed shrimp who only smokes and sleeps, and gives up the entire 4 provinces of the east without firing a shot. Even if he knelt his knees down, he deserved it. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Command 6 sons to take guns and go to the battlefield to kill the devils. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For over 10 hours, Zhang Xiaoliu knelt on the hard ground. His knees are almost on their knees. As the commander.In. Chief of the 4 eastern provinces and the future leader of the 4 eastern provinces. Unexpectedly, he was pinned to the ground by Lin Changmin, the son.In.Law of the 4 eastern provinces, kneeling down to reflect. How can Zhang Xiaoliu tolerate it? I want to see your teacher, I want to see your teacher Lin Changmin. I am General Zhang Xiaoliu of the Fengtian Army. I warn you, let go of me, quickly let go of me. Zhang Xiaoliu let out angry voices, feeling physically exhausted and mentally tormented. It has already brought the future commander of the Fengtian Army close to collapse. We know too well who you are. The commander has orders, you must kneel down and reflect. A man who only knows how to play with women and smoke big cigarettes is not worthy of being the future marshal of the 4 eastern provinces. The guard responsible for guarding Zhang Xiaoliu responded without hesitation. Zhang Xiaoliu was furious and about to stand up, but just before the guards were about to take action, a guy suddenly appeared and kicked Zhang Xiaoliu in the foot. Pop! Zhang Xiaoliu knelt down again on the ground. You step on the horse. Zhang Xiaoliu turned around and saw the guy who made him feel inexplicable and unclear appear in front of him. This person is not Lin Changmin, and who is he? Zhang Xiaoliu, do you still have face? Lin Changmin snorted coldly, showing great disdain for Zhang Xiaoliu, the so-called leader of the 4 great sons of the Republic of China. If it weren't for taking care of Zhang Zihan's feelings, Zhang Xiaoliu wouldn't just be kneeling here for more than 10 hours. Is what I said wrong? Lin Changmin shouted loudly. Besides smoking big cigarettes, sleeping with women, and persimmons like to pick and knead soft, what else would you do? If you were to confront the little devil's head on, wouldn't you just give up on the 4 eastern provinces without firing a single shot? Lin Changmin's words pierced into Zhang Xiaoliu's heart. Zhang Xiaoliu didn't understand how Lin Changmin seemed to be able to see through himself at a glance. I know I deserve it. Zhang Xiaoliu, don't turn your head and ignore this son.In.Law of the Grand Marshal's mansion. But it was Yang Ziyuan who saw Lin Changmin appear. He cried bitterly and begged Lin Changmin to let go of himself. Yang Ziyuan even bluntly stated that as long as he can be spared, he must make Zhang Xiaoying unable to eat and walk around, trying to regain justice for Lin Changmin. Looking at these playboy duo, Lin Changmin let out a cold snort. Someone, take them to the grassroots unit. Shoot them, shoot them. Lin Changmin shouted loudly. Shoot. Shoot bullets. Upon hearing Lin Changmin's words, everyone, including Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan, was stunned. What is this for? Commander, take them to the grassroots platoon and fire guns and bullets. What is this for? The guard in charge of guarding Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan asked with some confusion. These playboys, they wet their pants as soon as they go to the battlefield. When encountering a strong enemy, I become a soft-footed shrimp and just want to run. At present, the little devils stationed troops in the 4 eastern provinces are absolutely unable to sit still. Since that's the case, I want them to be the first to charge towards the little devils. I want to demonstrate to Zhang Dashuai how to teach my son well. After speaking, Lin Changmin shook his sleeve. Just leave this place. Isn't Zhang Xiaoliu able to run? Isn't it like abandoning the 4 eastern provinces without firing a single shot? Then I'll let them be the first to kill the Japanese. Let him also witness the cruelty of the battlefield. And it is precisely the refinement of bloody warfare. Zhang Xiaoliu's life trajectory has undergone tremendous changes. After arranging the 2 playboys Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan, Lin Changmin returned directly to the headquarters. Although Lin Changmin intended to let the 2 playboys Zhang Xiaoliu and Yang Ziyuan personally witness the bloody battlefield, he did not intend to let them just be cannon fodder. After all, if they stay, they can still negotiate a deal with Zhang Dashuai and Yang Yuding. Lin Changmin is a person with goals and ideals. He won't be impulsive enough to waste 2 such good chips. However, for Lin Changmin at the moment, the biggest threat is still the Japanese stationed in the 4 eastern provinces. although Fengtian County was successfully captured by the Model 1st Division. But in the nearby Xinmin County in Liuzi, there are troops from 2 squadrons of the Little Devils stationed. According to the military structure of the Little Devils, the strength of a battalion is around 3,800 people. The 2 squadrons, on the other hand, have 7,000 to 8,000 soldiers, which may be slightly less than the Model 1st Division in terms of military strength. But its combat effectiveness cannot be underestimated. Lions and rabbits must also do their best. Moreover, this is the first battle between Lin Changmin and the Little Devil, as well as the first battle between the Model 1st Division of the Great Xia Kingdom and the Little Devil. This battle is sure to win. And it must be completely annihilated. In this way, we can deter the Little Devils. Only then can we buy time for Lin Changmin to continue developing and strengthening through the strong country development system. At present, the chassis controlled by Lin Changmin is only Crescent Island, and the troops in his hands are just a model division. Compared to the Little Devils, they are still at a disadvantage. So Lin Changmin must seize the time, expand his territory, mine resources, and train the military. And this. It all takes time. Just as Lin Changmin was considering how to deal with the Little Devils, this guy who should not have appeared here unexpectedly appeared outside the command center of Lin Changmin. Chapter 9. Guo Songling is horrified, the weapon of a model teacher. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Guo Songling learned that the Little Devils had joined forces with Zhang Xiaoliu to launch an attack on his logistics unit, he was frightened to the death. Since ancient times, there has been a saying. Troops and horses remain unmoved, and food and forage come first. If even the logistics are cut off by the joint efforts of Zhang Xiaoliu and the Little Devils. So the next battle. Guo Songling is sure to lose. Guo Songling is very clear about this point. Therefore, after learning that Lin Changmin had telegraphed the whole country, he finally rebelled against Fengtian and headed south to Fengtian County. Guo Songling breathed a sigh of relief. At this moment, Guo Songling finally understood why Lin Changmin could sit still and not easily raise the anti-flag. Guo Songling originally thought she could stabilize the Little Devils while forming an alliance with Marshal Feng. To jointly map the 4 eastern provinces in response to the banner of the Southern Army, and thus completely annihilate the remaining Beiyang warlord forces in the Great Xia Kingdom. Who could have thought of it? On the surface, the Little Devil promised to remain silent, but secretly colluded with the Zhang family father and son to strike him hard. As for the 2-faced and 3-faced Feng Dashuai, not only did he not help, but he was also the one who would cause trouble for Guo Songling and even stab him in the back. Apart from 200,000 yuan in military expenses, Feng Dashuai did not respond to Guo Songling's rebellion at all. He even competed with Guo Songling's ally Li Jinlin for territory, and ultimately successfully pushed Li Jinlin to the side of Zhang Dashuai. These piles and pieces of things were anticipated by Lin Changmin. And all these speculations appeared in the correspondence between Lin Changmin and Guo Songling. Shocking. Guo Songling admired Lin Changmin to the point where he was in a state of complete admiration. After learning that it only took Lin Changmin 10 hours to capture Zhang Xiaoliu alive from his departure to the capture of Fengtian County, Guo Songling has completely taken it. Anticipate the enemy's divine machine, take decisive action, and act with lightning speed. This is the Lin Changmin who strategizes and wins thousands of miles away. Guo Songling's ambition is true, but she is by Lin Changmin's side. He can only submit. Compared to Zhang Dashuai and Zhang Xiaoliu, it is obvious that Lin Changmin is the more worthy person to follow. He is also the wise master in Guo Songling's mind. After learning about what happened in Fengtian County, Guo Songling rushed to Fengtian County without stopping. He knows whether it's the Little Devils or Zhang Dashuai next. I will never easily let Lin Changmin go. And this is also the time when Guo Songling personally expressed loyalty. Changmin. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. I knew it, I knew you were a hidden dragon. How could someone like you be manipulated by the Zhang family father and son? Guo Songling saw Lin Changmin walking out of the command center and immediately welcomed him. Subsequently, Guo Songling surprisingly knelt down on one knee on the ground. Guo Songling, deputy commander of the Jingyu Garrison Command, pay respects to the commander-in-chief. From now on, Guo Songling will only follow the orders of Commander-in-Chief Lin. Guo Songling surprisingly enlarged her tactics as soon as she arrived, although Lin Changmin had long anticipated Guo Songling's defection. However, I never expected Guo Songling to do so thoroughly. It can also be seen from here that Guo Songling is already at the end of her rope. Guo Songling, one of the 5 tiger generals of the Fengtian Army, threw himself into the arms and gave him a hug. Lin Changmin certainly has no reason to refuse the door. Brother Guo, what are you doing? We are all brothers, it's not ancient anymore, there's no need to perform such a big ceremony. Brother Guo is currently in a difficult situation, but I'm here. Whether it's the little devil, Zhang Dashuai, or that 2-faced and 3-faced Feng Dashuai. They can't expect to get anything good from me and Brother Guo. Guo Songling defected to himself, and although the army under his command had experienced fierce battles, but the quantity is also quite large. Lin Changmin certainly wouldn't pretend to refuse. However, Lin Changmin also understood that Guo Songling was in a hurry this time. There aren't many troops bringing Fengtian County, so the 2 platoons who deal with the little devils are still themselves. Ha ha ha. The 2 exchanged pleasantries for a while. Since Guo Songling has defected to him, Lin Changmin has nothing to hide. Allowing Guo Songling to witness his powerful abilities can also make him more convinced. So, the next second, Guo Songling, who thought she had seen the world before, was shocked. The first thing that caught Guo Songling's eye was the artillery regiment under the division. A total of 36 120mm howitzers and 12 152mm howitzers. The barrel of the 120mm howitzer has a body length of 2 or 3 adults. Even if it is wide, it has a length of over an adult. The huge shells were even more likely to scare people's eyes. When I heard that the farthest range of these 2 cannons was close to 20 kilometers, Guo Songling only felt a dry throat and a buzzing sound in her head. When Guo Songling saw an anti-aircraft battalion equipped with 6 88mm anti-aircraft guns, 12 40mm dual anti-aircraft guns, and 12.7mm anti-aircraft machine guns. This leader of the 5 tiger generals of the Fengtian Army couldn't even walk his legs apart. Before this, Guo Songling had always thought that Lin Changmin was cowardly and easily manipulated by the Zhang family father and son. Now seeing these, Guo Songling is completely numb. What Ren Guo and Songling thought, he couldn't figure out how Lin Changmin was under the cunning eye of Zhang Dashuai, making so many cannons. This is simply too scary. No wonder Lin Changmin's army was able to capture Fengtian County and capture Zhang Xiaoliu alive within 10 hours. Damn it. His army's firepower is really terrifying, isn't it? P.S. Brothers, is anyone watching? I feel like there's not much movement in the flowers, maybe it's me alone. This book has average data. Hey Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Declaring war on the little devils and shocking the great Xia kingdom. You are listening at novel full.audio. In addition to these cannons, what shocked and horrified Guo Songling even more were the tanks and fighter jets. It should be noted that during the Second Jifeng War, Zhang Dashuai was able to defeat Wu Xiucai and tanks played a great role. Because at that time, the great powers imposed an arms embargo on the great Xia kingdom. So these tanks cannot be transported to the country of Daxia under the guise of weapons, but are sold to Zhang Dashuai under the guise of tractors. Even though Zhang Dashuai went through countless hardships, he only managed to obtain 10 Renault tanks in the end. So Guo Songling naturally knew the power of tanks. In what Guo Songling was unaware of, the Fengtian Army later reorganized 24 armored tractors and 30 Renault tanks together to form the 1st Cavalry Armored Brigade of the eastern 4 provinces. Of course, before the black sheep Zhang Xiaoliu could strike the little devils, these tanks fell into their hands. At this moment, a whole tank regiment and 98 Dashuai 23 medium tanks appeared in front of Guo Songling. Guo Songling originally thought that the Renault tank was already strong enough. But the Renault tank is simply not worthy of even lifting its shoes in front of the mid-sized tank of the Dashuai 23. You should know that even at the end of World War II, the little devils were beaten like dogs by M4 Sherman medium tanks on the Pacific battlefield. And this weapon appeared in 1925, which is definitely a dimensionality reduction strike. The slender barrel and heavy armor of the Dashuai 23 medium tank made Guo Songling drool uncontrollably. As for the distant group of fighter jets, it made Guo Songling, who thought he had seen the world, tremble all over. Lin Changmin usually disguises himself as a son.In.law and is even ridiculed by the Zhang family as a useless son.In.law. Who knew he would hide so deep? He secretly built airplanes, cannons, and tanks. By the way, who wouldn't want to join such a military? Looking at the equipment of the Model 1st Division again, there is a uniform, the Xiao 20 semi-automatic rifle. It can achieve continuous sending, higher accuracy, longer range, and stronger firepower. The uniforms they were wearing were a uniform style of deep blue military uniform, with excellent workmanship and a very close-fitting fit. I don't know how much better it is than military uniforms on the market. In addition to military uniforms, sergeant field uniforms, helmets, camouflage raincoats, field pants, soldier belts, waterproof map bags, gas mask metal barrels, M24 grenades, semi-automatic rifle magazines, water kettles, combat boots, triangular army spikes, pistols, everything is ready. Each soldier has 100 bullets and 12 high-explosive grenades. Each class has a light machine gun, imitating Czech-style light machine guns. Each platoon has 3 to 4 mortars, 60 mm caliber, and 3 general-purpose machine guns, modeled after the MG-38 general-purpose machine gun. This equipment is extremely luxurious, not to mention Fengjun. Looking at the entire Dashuai kingdom, it may be difficult to find a firepower comparable to this army. No wonder they were able to capture Zhang Xiaoliu's elite troops and capture Fengtian County within 10 hours. No wonder Lin Changmin is not afraid of sending troops from the nearby small devils in the 4 eastern provinces. Strength. This is where Lin Changmin's confidence lies. At this moment, Guo Songling was completely convinced by Lin Changmin. He couldn't figure out how Lin Changmin got these weapons and how he managed to build such a powerful army under the watchful eye of Zhang Dashuai. How's it going? Lin Changmin patted Guo Songling's shoulder and asked. Strong, it's really too strong. Changmin, you are really good at hiding your strength. Guo Songling couldn't help but praise. This is just the beginning. In the future, more troops will be equipped with these weapons. My goal is to build a strong national defense army that will conquer the countries of Polar Bear, Wanu, Bald Eagle, Gaul, and John. Cut off these hands that dare to invade the territory of our country, one after another. After speaking, Lin Changmin looked at Guo Songling and said, I also need your help with the next things. Changmin, you say it. Whatever I can do, I am bound to do it. Guo Songling also said excitedly. Lin Changmin smiled at the words and looked up at the distant sky. The dispatched troops from the 4 eastern provinces of the Little Devils will never let themselves go. Even if they haven't colluded with Zhang Dashuai, Zhang Xiaoliu is still an excellent bargaining chip against him. So no matter from which perspective we analyze, the Little Devils will launch attacks on the Model 1st Division. It's just a matter of time. Instead of waiting for the aggressive Little Devils to take the initiative, Lin Changmin might as well play a big game. Even if half of the Great Xia Kingdom fell into the hands of the Little Devils, the Great Xia Kingdom only declared war on the Little Devils in 1940. Such an unreliable thing should not have happened in this period of history. Next. We are going to declare war on the Little Devils. I want to give these arrogant Little Devils a painful lesson. Lin Changmin's words left Guo Songling stunned. He even doubted if he had heard something wrong. And Lin Changmin's decision will also be destined to cause a sensation throughout the Great Xia Kingdom.